For the second time in this early lacrosse season, the Tigers are headed south on Charles Street. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and is locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl and chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, fans, to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And, Coach, the Tigers renewing one of their longest rivalries and one of the best in school history against the Greyhounds of Loyola, Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock at Ridley Field. This is a Loyola team that is 9th in the nation, and they're coming off a blowout win. They also really blew out Johns Hopkins, who handled the Tigers earlier this year. The Greyhounds just continue to roll on year after year, don't they?
Yeah, they're a good team, good program. Obviously, they get good players in every year and are able to build off of that. So this team's no different, but they've shown that they can get scored upon and also have some weaknesses, and we need to exploit those.
All right, when you think of Loyola, you think of Pat Spencer, one of the best players in the country. What is it that makes him special?
He's really dynamic overall. He's got great size. You know, he's not blazing fast, but he's got a long stride, and he's physical. He can be a physical dodger if need be. He was a really, from what I never saw him play basketball in high school, but apparently he's a really good basketball player. And you can see the basketball style in his game with kind of the hesitation moves, how he squares guys up, and then he attacks them and things like that. So I think he uses that kind of multi-sport athlete approach and being able to use those skill sets. He's got both hands. He's very dangerous that way. He gets north-south. He gets into defenders, makes them uncomfortable, and he's, 6'3", 6'4", so he can see over top of his defender and over top of the defense to be able to feed the ball and move it. So he's talented in a lot of different ways.
I guess the problem you have in defending him is that if you spend too much time on him, that allows other guys to get involved and hurt you.
Absolutely. They're a balanced offense, and they do a good job just kind of getting to a formation, establishing the dodge, and then just playing off each other. And then they're very comfortable with that. And, you know, Pat is kind of the quarterback of that and does a good job. And he gets a lot of attention drawn to him, obviously, so they do, you know, watching them on film, they've done a good job understanding when he gets a lot of attention, what the other players need to do and how they need to play. They also do a lot of generating their offense from the defensive end. Extremely dangerous in transition. Their defensive middies, face-off guy, poles, they are instant offense when they get the ball in their stick. And, you know, so you got to worry about those guys as well.
Defensively, led by Stover, he's been It seems like he's been there forever now, but he's been playing since he was a freshman. What are his skill sets that make him a really good goalie?
He's sound. You know, he's a good-sized kid in the cage, and he's sound. He knows how to square up on shooters. He doesn't get too jumpy. He doesn't get outside of the kind of the crease line. He's very patient. He sits on shots, and he's very fluid. And when he gets the ball, he is immediately looking up to those guys and does a good job throwing outlet passes to them.
For Towson, this is your only midweek game of the year. How do you handle practices from the game Saturday to playing on Wednesday, as opposed to if you have a full week to get ready for a team?
We got to gauge the guys' energy level and physical fitness with it. So on Monday, with a midweek game, you kind of put a lot of things in place with the scouting report. Tuesday, you scale it back, but you still got to address things that you need to in scouting report and what we need to do to beat them. Then obviously Wednesday with a 4 o'clock game, we don't do anything. The guys can shoot around if they want on their own. We get a little team meal at noon, then we head over, and then we kind of roll into the next week, or the back end, very similar. Thursday after a Wednesday game will be a little bit lighter, but still being able to get on the field and kind of walk through some mental reps. And then Friday, maybe get the energy up a little bit more, but again, nothing too crazy.
So for you guys coming off the loss to Georgetown, can you gauge how this team is reacting to a 1-2 start?
Yeah, they're frustrated. They know that they're better. We know as a program that we're better and have better lacrosse in us. We're just not doing a great job of being on the same page, and not just offensively, defensively, in the middle of the field, across the board as a team. And that's my responsibility and our responsibility as coaches to make sure we understand our roles, our responsibilities. We need to embrace those, and everybody needs to do their little part, and be able to do that. So we need to do a better job communicating that, holding guys accountable to that, and understanding that we have the pieces to be successful. We just got to play better team lacrosse all over the field, and I think that'll help us, obviously, hopefully earn some more wins, at least be in position to win games like we were against Georgetown. We just couldn't do a good job in the fourth quarter to finish it off.
Thanks for watching, and Hunter Lochte and I will have the broadcast for you as the Tigers take on the Greyhounds Wednesday at 3:45 on TowsonTigers.com. And later on this week, join us as Coach Nadelen and I will talk about Saturday's matchup against the Retrievers of UMBC. So for head coach Shawn Nadelen, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.